Sure, I don't... Not very good at this whole live streaming thing. Okay, Twitch. It is muted, right? I don't want to hear my... Ah, we are live. Cool, awesome. So, could we get a sound, like, a sound check? Because I'm not using the usual mic setup. So just wondering if the sound's okay. I don't... We're fine according to at least one person, so let's get right into it. So, before we actually get into it, somebody asked what what the specs of my personal system are. My personal system is a 5930K, 16 gigs of RAM, which is 4 gig sticks, clocked at like 2400. See, like they run really slow. They don't overclock. I think they're like at 14, 16, 16 or something. And then there's a Fury X in there. But, yeah, and honestly, I want to get rid of the 5930K, which also the motherboard is a Gigabyte UD4P. But yeah, that's my personal system. It's actually weaker than this thing. It's actually way weaker than this thing right next to us. So yeah, this is the Vega setup. So we have the Vega 56 down in the second slot. I'm not sure how AMD's driver decides which card is primary and which card is secondary. So, like, right now this should be secondary because it is in ultra low power state. Actually, yeah, it has to be. Because it's just from the video because that was a mess on the, what was it? The registry modification video. Because I hit the card that was running and it applied to the card that was in ultra low power state. I thought I hit the card that was running and it hit the one in ultra low power state, but whatever. What they're labeled in registry is a bit of a mess. But yeah, up here you can see that, you know, CPU's clocked at 4.4 gigahertz. This might end up going down to 4.3 depending on if 3D Mark decides to cooperate. 4.4 should run for 3D Mark Firestrike. It probably won't run for 3D Mark Vantage. But then again, I'm not sure if we're going to run Vantage at all because I'm not sure how good the crossfire support is. 3D Mark 11 I hope to also run. So basically it's going to be Firestrike, Firestrike Extreme, Time Spy, and what else? 3D Mark 11, yeah. So, yeah, and the memory is also, I'm actually pretty happy with, like, considering that this isn't B-die, this is actually a pretty decent kit of RAM. It's running 2800, 10, 14, 12, 25 at around 1.63 volts. It does not scale past this, I think. Actually, no, it scales up to like 1.72, and past that it stops working. So, yeah, first things first, we're going to have to kill ULPS because the Vega 56 isn't currently running, so let's just go into the registry. Oh, look, we have a bunch of new entries for new cards. And now I have two volatiles. This is why that video was such a mess. The registry modification. Because sometimes you get an entry with volatile and another entry with volatile, and it's like, okay, so these would be the two cards. Whatever, I already hit that one and that one, so just fix these up. Enable ULPS. Where's, oh, right, mic in the way. Let's just hit 0 for that. And let's get the other one. I don't think you need to do it on both cards, but I'm not sure which card has to be done, so we'll do it on both. And now okay, so not had great luck with the shortcut, but we'll see. Did we get it? Yeah, no, it didn't work. So somebody mentioned that, like, you don't have to use the restart driver from custom resolution utility, but at least for me, yeah. So, yeah, and that there is the Windows shortcut, which is the Windows key, CTRL, and Shift. You press those, and you press B, and it resets the driver, which is true, except actually it doesn't reset the driver. I think it, like, it looks like it resets the driver, but I think, like, if my memory serves me correctly, it resets the graphics stack, or something like that. So it doesn't actually redo the driver, it just, like, does something. It's not quite as thorough as custom resolution utility. Because right now I ended up using this anyway because the registry modification didn't apply and the 56 was, yeah, now it's out of ULPS. So we can check that. And yeah, now they're both good. So we can get right into this. And actually, should I change the memory system spec? Actually, I'll do that. Because it looks really lame. Like, it's... Considering what kit this like, that's the spec of the kit. Like, it's really low spec, and it's really old. But it does overclock pretty well, so that's why I use it. 25 1T. Yeah. That looks a lot more respectable. And we need that also needs the voltage. 6.3. And that's at 4.4 for now. Oh, it's a frame buffer reset. Yeah, it doesn't reset the driver. Yeah, here's the thing. It's like, yeah, you can DDU use display driver uninstall utility to get the freaking registry entries to be 00, but it's just like, don't care. If it works, I really don't care how I do it. So first let's check. We're gonna have to reapply it because I literally just took the Z270 Windows install and threw it on the X99 rig. Which is like, oh yeah, and we'll have to kill frame pacing, set that to performance, override the tessellation because we are benching for HWBot here, not for 3D Mark. So disabling frame pacing actually gives you a bit more performance. And crossfire is enabled. Funny thing is, the high bandwidth cache controller setting disappears when you have crossfire running, which is, like, that's actually kind of annoying because the HBCC does give you a couple percent more performance in a lot of DirectX 11 benchmarks, like 3D Mark, basically. So I'm a bit annoyed that that's not available, but let's see. Yeah, that only goes to 50, so edit, get the registry. Nope, that's msconfig. Oh, that reminds me, this is probably configured. Yeah, okay, we need to take that off. Apply. So I'll just restart after I apply the registry modifications. So 004, and this is 96, 0, yeah, okay, that's good. Save. And then let's run that. Yes, please. Okay. Refresh. And to people who are like, you're not using all the keyboard shortcuts, it's because the mic is in way of the keyboard. So if I can right click my way through things, I'm doing it. Soft power play table. Okay. That one's done. So let's hit 03. Because, yeah, it's missing. It's not there. Let's just do 03 now. Boom. Save. And apply. Okay. And where did it go? Soft power play table. Cool. So let's just restart. I really hope it doesn't take AMD the next few years to get Vega to perform at full speed. That would be depressing. I mean, totally AMD, but depressing. Oh, come on, motherboard. This thing sometimes has a hard time posting. Do it. Thank you. That's a lot better. There. Honestly, it's like So I got this motherboard to replace the Rampage 5 Extreme, and the only real complaint I have for it is that below minus 100 degrees centigrade on the CPU, it starts to crash randomly. But if you're benchmarking like a 6950X, it's great. Really nice VRM. I really like, yeah, I like the VRM on it. All intersil components. I like the MSI, like, I got used to MSI's janky BIOS, and it does take a while to post, but it's just, you know, I like it. I definitely like it more than the Rampage 5 Extreme, because this thing boots reliably and clocks memory better than the Rampage 5 Extreme ever did. It's just like, once it hits minus 100, it craps out. So, yeah. Anyway, at this point, we should have all the settings available. So, now it's going to get really boring. I do have a wall meter hooked up, which that should be interesting, because each of these cards is fully capable of pulling, you know, like 500 watts. So, like, I would not be surprised if this setup trips over current protection on the power supply. And we are on that 1600 watt EVGA thing, the EVGA G2, but I've actually tripped over current on this before. So, it will be interesting to see. Nope. Yeah, this is so awkward with the keyboard. Nope. No. And I'm just gonna set this to 1200. Set as minimum. And at this point, what it should do is it should lock me. I actually want to check that. Okay, interesting. Now we're on which card? Okay, yeah. So yeah. Wait a minute. Wait a. This is the 56. That's the like, that's just annoying. That's just dumb. Why is, so this card right here, that's this card. That's the top one. That's not the bottom card. That's the top card. Great. I mean, that makes so much sense, you know? It's just like, everything is in reverse. Either way, I'm setting the core voltage basically as a sort of floor thing, and actually, because I do like to set, this one should go to 1600, 1680, which should work on this card. I don't want that being at that, there. Because I do want the card to be able to regulate its power capabilities somewhat properly. But basically, you can use the memory voltage setting as a, like, to lock the core voltage in, which is kind of fun. Really, they should call it override VCore override. That be, because that's basically what it does. And we just need to set that to 1250. No, why did I press that button? Oh. Wait. 1752. Nope. That's too many zeros. Yeah, this... reaching the keyboard is a pain. There. And 1650. That generally works on this card. 1200. And you can actually just run asymmetrical clocks, which I'm impressed that AMD actually has that working. I'm actually surprised by that, because normally it's just like I'd expect this to not let you... Did it crash? Okay, it crashed. Wait. Why did it crash? Yeah, it's dead. Damn it. The memory's not 100% stable, so... Though it could have been the driver as well. One, two, three... And it's back. Didn't even need to run a benchmark. System just crashes on its own. I should probably, like, dial back the memory a bit. It's, it's pretty much maxed out. I could also maybe... I should maybe also dial back the 6950X, because that thing... Like, I think I've actually degraded the chip. Because it used to... I'm... And it is very likely, because I've basically, like, run this chip at, like, over 1.4 volts for as long as I've had it. So... Yeah, let's just... You know what? I'll just bump that up there. Hopefully that'll fix it. Wait, so... Somebody's asking if I prefer AMD's new idiotic power management to NVIDIA's idiotic power management. Honestly, not sure. I think, like, with AMD, I see it as a sort of case of... They try to support overclocking, and they're just bad at it. And with NVIDIA, it's just a case of, no... If you could, you would literally just ban overclocking, wouldn't you, NVIDIA? You totally would, wouldn't you? Yeah, I knew that. Which is not surprising. I mean, they already locked down, like, they've... On the other hand, I don't really fault them that much for, like, blocking core voltage control on most NVIDIA cards, because, quite frankly, it doesn't do anything on a lot of their GPUs. Also, I really should have, like, given myself more space here. Move, please. There. Oh, wait, no, this is the slow card. This is not going to be fun to navigate. Nope. Let's see if I can enter all the settings before it crashes again. Putting the discard next to the apply is just... no. I mean, it is my fault for being, like, horrifically inaccurate, but still. Oh, actually, I'll floor it at 1100. There. Smack that. Also, we're gonna have to... because that thing is still on the stock cooler. That's not gonna be fun. Baba ears! 2K's not that bad. That's more like it. Yeah, like, the one thing I hate is these sliders are, like, overly sensitive. Like, I don't like sliders that literally just jump to whatever point on them you click on. 52... 1752, there. 16, 50, 1250, 100. So actually the interesting thing is you might notice that the temperature stuff here shows, like, because we're using the Vega Air, the Air Vega registry for both of these cards, even though one of them is on the Liquid Edition BIOS. The temperature limits are BIOS side is takes priority. So even though technically I can set that to 85, the card will shut down the moment it hits 75 degrees centigrade, which is why it has the great big air cooler on it. So it won't actually shut down, it'll run fine, but that is, like, you can't, if you put a Liquid Edition BIOS onto your card, and then you put an air-cooled power play table, you'll get the extra temperature slider, but it doesn't do anything. So, yeah. That's just an interesting side note that a lot of people might not be aware of. Also, this doesn't do anything. Oh, and that's the washing machine. There we go. So, I think I've set up everything at this point. No. Set that as minimum. Set that as minimum. That's the other thing that I'm like surprised AMD implemented. You can set the minimum power state. Like, that's really cool. I'm a fan of that. That's really nice of them to do that. That is so handy. And I think we're ready to run. Not gonna run Time Spy, we're gonna start with Fire Strike just because I love it when you get that, like, this should put down around 250 FPS. I think. So, this should be fun. Also, Fire Strike pulls more power than Time Spy does, so... because there's that combined test. Though, actually, interestingly enough, typically the combined test doesn't pull as much power as the graphics test one, because by the time you get to the combined test, the you end up with, like, such a massive CPU bottle. Like, there's a bottleneck, like, everything starts bottlenecking on the combined test, so you end up in a situation where the power consumption really isn't that high. GT1 is actually, like, worse than combined in most cases. Also, we might see a really miserable combined score here because the AMD driver really doesn't like 10-core CPUs, so that'll be interesting to see. Time Spy doesn't care, and if we do have a problem with this being in 10-core, then I might just switch to a 5960X. There we go, 250 FPS. I wonder how much power. 1100 watts at the wall right now. Yeah, 1150 watts at the wall. I like my GPU setup. 300 FPS. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, you can't see the FPS thing. I forgot about that. Anyway, it was doing like 300 FPS peak. How much of that is the 6950X? I have no idea. That 6950X, I think, peaks at around, like, 300, 250. With the current... Actually, no, it should peak higher than that. Not sure. Honestly, not sure. I should be around 300 watts. But not for the graphics tests. For these, it's basically unloaded. I mean, the CPU's sitting at, like, 40 degrees right now. I really hope this doesn't put, like, I'm worried about that combined score being just absolute trash. Also, physics isn't crashing, that's surprising. So, interesting thing is, actually, Firestrike physics is not that heavy by 3D Mark physics test standards. Like, we're only hitting around 70 degrees right now on the CPU. The motherboard has a temperature readout. And it is accurate, that temperature readout is. Relatively accurate. It's not the best thing ever, but it's better than nothing. But yeah, I'm worried for combined, because in the past, like, I benchmarked RX 480s in Crossfire, and it, you know, GT1 was fine, GT2 was fine, physics test was fine, then we got to combined test, and it just bombed. Yeah. That's terrible. We're getting like 30-something FPS when we really should be seeing closer to... Like, the 7700K gets 50 FPS on this. So, yeah, that's bad. 70 FPS coming out of it. We'll see. Oh, not too bad. Actually, wait, this is definitely my highest 2 GPU score, but I want to know just how high. Yeah, but actually the 7700K is better for test, like, graphics core. I think I have, like, I think I managed to 50? Actually, I'm not sure. But I do know that, like, for if you have really high FPS numbers, then the mainstream Intel stuff is better. surprised the combined, like, I was expecting a lot worse for combined, though. So I'm actually happy with that. Let's see. And HWBot is being incredibly slow, as usual. Okay. Fire strike. Yeah, okay, so my current record is like 27,799. The world record is 42,000 held by Kingpin. We're not touching that, not on air cool. Well, actually, even on liquid nitrogen, we wouldn't be touching that. Let's see. I do want to know where 33K puts me, though. Because it should be pretty high. Oh, damn, I'm like... Oh, damn, I made it to top 50. The funny thing is, for HWBot, I'm not running tessellation, so it's... Like, I do get a pretty unfair advantage compared to a lot of the NVIDIA people. But then again, everybody on NVIDIA should be running LOD, so... Though I think tessellation actually has more of an effect than LOD does, so... Yeah, it depends on how you look at it, but... It is what it is. I'll make a screenshot of that, and then we'll try bump up the cards. Vega, CF, FS. Save. And I'm gonna bump up the 56 to... The 56 can do like a... Well, the 56 is like... My 56 is pretty damn good, so I think it should be able to run... Let's go for... Stupid slider is That's the thing, that slider is awful. There. Try that. I'll do like 1690. And this card, I'm pretty sure this thing can't run over 1700 at all. So, well, just over 1700 on this one, but we can do that, and that should help scores a bit. Yeah. Just rerun at this point. Fire strike, run. Safe DDR4 voltage for 24/7 usage. 1.5 volts. I mean, I swear there's a few memory kits out there that ship at like 1.45. So 1.5 is definitely, like, I'd call it safe. And yeah, all the scores I'm making are for HWBot today. I mean, I might do some runs with tessellation turned on, but it's just like... I personally, like, I care more about the HWBot points. Oh, damn, this is, like, worth a lot of points, now that I look at it. That score is... That's like 16... Yeah, I'm maybe gonna break into top 100 for Extreme League. Today. I wonder if I could clock the CPU a little higher. Just a little higher. You know, just bump up the BCLK by megahertz and try again. Actually, this should be possible for Fire Strike. I don't think it'll run TimeSpy at 4450. 1.43 volts for a Ryzen 1700 at 3.925. like, depending on how... Oh, wait, what happened? We'll just try run that again. No, so somebody asked 1.43 volts. I'd say, depending, like, if you have your LLC set up, like, if you're on a motherboard that you know for sure is only giving it 1.43 volts, I'd say you're safe, mostly. Like, AMD says the max voltage you should run is, like, 1.425 volts. So you're a little bit over that. I don't think 5 millivolts will make that much difference. And it does sound like you have great cooling, so honestly, if it was my system, yeah, I'd run it. I'm gonna need to open a window. 1100 watts of GPU here. I actually wonder if AMD fixed their driver then. Okay, that is very odd. Why does it keep crashing? I'm gonna restart it, maybe something... Yeah, like, one feature I would love AMD to add to their, to Wattman is profiles. Like, the option to save profiles. And then just load them up on boot up. But yeah, let's just restart. I'd be interested in working on a GTX 480. If you're in Europe, send me a PM through, like... Well, actually, no, just send an email to buildzoid@gmail.com and, we can discuss the details of that. And I'll actually go and take... Since we're already restarting, I'm gonna take care of the whole... Oh, come on, Windows! I was going to take care of the BIOS settings for higher clock speed, but whatever. Seem. Overdrive end tool. Yeah, I know overdrive end tool is a thing. It's just don't feel like running it. No, that's all set up, so let's just rerun. It's too bad I don't have better RAM. Because, like, a 6950X could, like, most of the Broadwell E-chips should be able to run, like, say, 3200, 3400 at, like, CL12. And unfortunately, this memory kit, like, it does really nice timings under sort of 3000, and then when you want to go past 3000, it needs to be loose as hell. Anyway, let's just run. I wonder if this might be... I don't think this should be able to do 35K, but I'd love to do 35K. That would be a crazy score. But I don't think it's likely on a... Like, unless I got another... unless I had better cooling for the 64, I don't think that's happening. If the CPU was on dry ice or something, then maybe. But... As it is right now, no. CPU sucks too much. Because I'm already running, like, that first run was relatively close to maxed out. Makes for a boring live stream when you start at the end. don't have enough monitors here. I need to get like a... No, it wouldn't fit. I was like, I've had the idea that I want a fourth monitor to have when I'm doing like Volt mods, so that I can have like data sheets as well as see what the camera is seeing. But now I'm thinking it's like, yeah, I'd need a monitor like there somewhere. To just make the whole room monitors. What is better, high clock speed and high timings, or lower clock and lower timings? You need a balance with memory. Like, you need to hit a very specific balance, which depends on, like, which kit of memory you have. Like, this kit that I'm running right now is best at the timings I have right now. Like, there's... Like, I could go at lower speed, and I could actually push all the way down to, like, CL9 at, say, 2600. But it would be slower, and I could go to 3000 at, like, CL12, but it would be slower. So, you know, this is, like, the optimum settings. And similarly, for something like Samsung B-Die, optimum settings are, like... Well, if you're benchmarking, optimum settings are around 4000 CL12. If you're running daily, it would probably be a bit lower. I'm not sure. I'd have to test. But for benchmarking, yeah, optimum settings are like 4012. Because if you want to go past 4000, you end up in a situation where it's like you go 4500 and you're at like CL16. And that giant timing increase eats up all of the extra, you know, bandwidth that you get from the frequency. So you do need to find that sweet spot where the timings are low enough and the clock high enough that the memory is at its peak performance. Yeah, this is gonna... Yeah, there's no way this is going over 33,000. Okay, what was that last score? Because I don't think this improved at all. Vega, CF. Okay, no, this is a small improvement with progress. Is that even worth saving, though? It is. We're saving that. Yeah. Has to be some way to get more performance. It's like, if I could just turn HBCC on, that'd be awesome. That literally, like, that would give me a bump of, like, a couple 100 points more. Be perfect. Actually, I really like Vega as a benchmarking card. You have HBCC, which gives you more for a score. You have tessellation off for more score. You know. Wattman is actually pretty decent at what it does. It's not great, but it's better than a lot of other things. Well, it's on par with, like, other utilities for Vega, at least. Because it does, like... So for, like, RX 480s or something, I'd use tricks, because you have extra voltage range, but right now, nobody can access the voltage controller on the Vega cards without having to go through the AMD driver, and the AMD driver reinforces, like, pretty strict voltage limits. Let's save this. Vega CF Fast 2, and I'm going to save them separately there. Just going to keep bumping these up. 1720. That should be the limit of that card. 1675 and 1175. Kind of feel like if we... That's going to make it run hotter, but... Well, hopefully it's not dipping in clock speed that far down, but... Let's see, 1720. I know for a fact that this one doesn't clock higher than this. Like, I've played with the 56 more than the... Well, actually, no, it does clock higher than that. It did 1782 for for 3D Mark 11, which is just insane, but let's run that. We're gonna need to bump up the CPU, because it's dragging down the overall score. Like, that GPU score is so massive. I'm just gonna check what... Because right now we're scoring around 52k, so I'm just gonna round up and say that somehow I make it do 53,000. And if I do that, I get 28k, and right now it's doing like 27,500 for physics. If I could get 10k combined, that'd be amazing. Yeah, that would put me at... yeah, I need a lot more. I need a lot more power in this. I could do like 54k graphics. That'd be perfect. We're also going to run some single card benchmarks with the 56 and the 64. And that's okay. One of the GPUs gave up. Let's try it. Yeah, no, for some reason this driver just never recovers. Like, you can see the... Actually, you can't see it, but I'm getting, like, artifacting across the entire screen right now. We'll see if I can restart the driver into working, but, actually, this looks like the display out... Okay, no, that actually... Man, this thing's useful. That fixed it. Refreshing the driver. Oh, no, I wiped the settings. Utmi. 1710. 1780. 1250. 1220. Actually, you know what? We'll just put 1230 in that one. 1100. 1230. No. 1230. Yeah, okay, I'm happy with that. And set as minimum, apply that. Wait, forgot to max this. Let's go here and put this into custom. Like, the unnecessary sliders are just annoying. It's just like, there's sliders for everything, and I don't know why. For some things like the power limit, it's fine. And actually for the power limit, I would just like a auto max max button. There. I'm gonna open a window. It's getting warm in here. There we go. I'm using Wattman because like, I'm too lazy to go and hunt down a better utility, and right now nothing has as much control. For Vega. There's like no major advantages to any of the other utilities from what I've seen. The obnoxiously scaled, like, UI I can deal with, but it's just, yeah. Anyway, let's try run this again. I'm actually certain that Wattman has to save those overclock settings somewhere. Oh, whatever. Yeah, the thing is, if I knew where it saves the overclocks, then I think 3D Mark broke. If I knew where it saves the overclock settings, then I could just back up the files manually and just, you know, swap them out by hand. I'm gonna restart. And I'm gonna bump up the BCLK this time around, assuming freaking Windows lets me. MSI doesn't have a new tool, they just updated Afterburner. And all they really did is, like, the voltage slider in Afterburner doesn't actually do anything. I don't know what the, like... There was, like, it looked like there was quite a lot of excitement around it, but I tested it, and it's still stuck at maximum 1.2 volts, so I don't care. Pretty much. Where's BCLK? There we go. 101. 1.48. There. Hopefully that works. Yeah, I'm using the 17.10.1 driver. This right now pulls around 1150 watts from the wall under graphics test 1 for 3D Mark. If I had if I had better cooling for both cards, we could make it pull a lot more. But with the current situation cooling-wise, I can't do anything about it. Especially the reference card is a problem. Okay, so everything should be set up right now. Just gonna check that we have all of the memory. No, wait. Yeah, everything's available. Just gonna check that it... Like, I can hear the fan, it's just... want to make... Oh, that crashed. Damn it! That'll reset. Yeah, that's dead. I wonder what killed it. I mean, it's not like... It's not a huge mystery. Obviously, the BCLK overclock is unstable, but it's like, what part of it? Because... bumped up literally everything. Could drop the memory to that. Don't really feel like doing that, though. I swear I have everything over it. Just wanna... The Fiverr CPUs have a bunch of, like, annoying settings that I occasionally forget to set up. Okay, like, CPU features... Okay. Yep. That one alone. Let's see, what's the settings like? Do I have Super Pi? Let's see. Just want to do a really quick test that this isn't gonna just die on me immediately. Where is it? Benchmarks. Okay, looks stable. Might be like I haven't actually messed with the reference card that much. Well, the blower, the Vega 64 that much. So I'm not entirely sure that I'm not like overdoing some of the settings on it. Let's see. Funny thing is that even though it lets you enter whatever voltage you want, technically these voltage controllers have some really, like, most of these will have really rigid steps. So I'm actually wondering about, like, how that's working. Like that. And I think I'll give it a more aggressive temperature target. I'll try that. Apply. What was it? Right, yeah. Yeah, okay, this looks like it won't crash immediately. I'm gonna check with GPU Z that I have everything. Okay, that one's at 1780, that one's 17.0, ULPS is not running. Let's go. Let's start a fire. Man, system info just takes forever, doesn't it? RAM prices everywhere are going up and up and up. Like, it's ridiculous. And unfortunately, it looks like Samsung, Micron, and Hynix decided that, you know what, all those fabs we were planning to, like, set up in Q4 of this year, yeah, we're not doing that. These prices are great. Okay, we're doing like almost 1200 watts at the wall right now. I approve. It's not even the iPhone sucking up all the capacity. Like, initially, it was like, yeah, there was too much demand for NAND flash and DRAM. But now it's like they're not even planning on adding on the fabs that it was like earlier this year. They were like, yeah, we're totally adding fabs by the end of the year, and the shortage will be over. And now there's like analysts saying that the amount of money that Samsung and Micron and Hynix are spending on actually like expanding operations is way too low for them to actually manage, like for them to actually manage to, you know, get the supply up high enough fast enough. So yeah, if you're hoping to like hold out for cheaper RAM, it's like you're probably gonna have to wait until like I read China's apparently going to be opening up, like, have their own memory manufacturing plants. So until those open, I guess memory prices are going to be insanely high. Here comes the moment of truth. Physics will either crash and burn, or it'll actually finish. Incidentally, this... Yeah, okay, so that... Physics is taking like 500 watts. So that the CPU is like 500 watts when it's fully loaded. Well, fully loaded. It's only at 72 degrees. They're like 3D Mark 11 would absolutely hammer this. Like, it would actually crash. For 3D Mark 11, I'd probably have to drop 100 megahertz. If you can get a... What the hell is with... What the hell? Why is the combined so damn low? Did we lose cores? You know what? I think I'm just gonna... Nah, I'm just gonna rerun combined. There. Because that is, like, that is way down. Like, it's way too low. What changed? I mean, I bumped up the BCLK. I can't think of any other differences. Both of the cards were showing that they're, like, full usage, so... I actually like the load indicator LEDs. They're handy. They're really handy. Now it looks like it's running... Yeah, now it's running fine. What the hell? Well, fine. Relatively fine. Better than before. Yeah, now it's back at 9K. Okay, we'll just run the whole test suite again. Hopefully that was a one-time anomaly and... You know, whatever. As for Vega being a viable gaming card, honestly, like, I don't, like, you can make a Vega 56, like, here, the main problem I have with Vega right now is the reference cooler. The reference cooler sucks horrifically, but I personally, like, if you know what you're doing, you can make a Vega 56 run as fast as a GTX 1080. You can't make a GTX 1070 compete with a GTX 1080. Like, NVIDIA very intentionally chopped up the GTX 1070 more than any other 70 series card before to make sure that the 1080 was still viable. There's no way to make a 1070 catch up to a 1080. But a Vega 56 will catch up to an overclocked 1080. It won't beat it, necessarily. Actually, I think it might even beat it. But, like, you know, it'll be really close, whereas a 1070 wouldn't be. So, if you're willing to mess around with it, like, but the problem is the cooler. The cooler sucks on a Vega 50. Like, the reference cooler just sucks. So by the time you get a Vega to catch up to a GTX 1080, it'll pull so much power and that the heatsink is just a catastrophe. So, yeah, it's like, if you want to water cool, I guess, and have a big enough power supply. So the 1070 Ti, I'm not sure. Like, I think, like, the rumor we were hearing about them locking down overclocking, I think that's exactly why NVIDIA's like, okay, we need to compete with Vega 56, I guess. And then it's like, we're gonna, like, there's a rumor going around that it won't support overclocking at all. And if it actually did that, then it'd be like, yeah, okay, this can now exist next to a GTX 1080 because it won't eat a 1080 for breakfast. But other than that, I can't, like... Other than that, yeah, I mean, it would be a... They could end up... Because ultimately, like, a 10... Like... I'm not sure. I think we'd have to wait to see the card. But it would end up being really close if they hit the same clock, in theory. Though I also heard that the 1070 Ti is supposed to be on GDDR5 instead of GDDR5X. And the 1080, well, the 1070 already has a memory bottleneck because of being on GDDR5. So that might be also another thing that NVIDIA is doing to sort of get away from that. Oh, this is going to be a good one, I think. Oh, come on. Why is the graphics score lower? I mean, this heatsink sucks so bad that the GPU even now is at 47. Wait, no, Wattman's just terrible. Okay, it's at 30. Still terrible. Okay, wait, let's bump that back up. Because the thing is, well, I'm not going to get around that, so we'll bump that up and see what happens then. 710. Okay, let's try and run that again, because the combined is good. Physics... Oh, it's just like, we need 28K. Oh, well. Let's run that again. Do you have any Zen 2 expectations? Yeah, higher clocks. That's pretty much it. I just hope they if they get it to clock to like 4.5 gigahertz overclocked instead of 4, then I think it'll be that would be a huge success. Dark Cuteness, I have seen your email. It's just like I haven't replied to it yet. I'll get around to it eventually. You know what? I think I'm just gonna smack the fan with 4.9k RPM and deal with it. Yeah, we're just doing that. I don't have, because ultimately this is like the last thing, the last remaining tweak. Boom. It's not that much louder, actually. That's surprising. It's... I have a high noise tolerance. Yeah. Let's run like this. Did I see your email about the GTX 480? Really? There's not even an error message. I mean, blue screen. Bloody hell. For some reason, I don't see your email. Are you sure you sent it to buildzoid@gmail.com? Should try the new Windows 10. I'll look into it. But, like, I'm not gonna reinstall Windows 10 on right now. I don't particularly care to do that. And this is like some ancient version of... What? Email? No, Gmail! Gmail! Bloody hell! Well, that hard to understand. Oh, this is great. The freaking drivers reset themselves. Well, thank you for being so cooperative and ruining all my hard work. You know how long it takes to punch in these settings? I can barely reach the damn keyboard. Like, you know what? If they gave me voltage sliders, I'd be happy, but frequency sliders are dumb. Like, those are just dumb. 1700. Apply. Oh wait, forgot to do the set min, set as min. Custom apply, and 1700 by 1680. Wait, no, 1660, 1710. Wait, that's not gonna work. 1150. The reason why I don't keep the voltages the same is so that the power management can actually do something. Cause on it, like, I've not fit, like, there's no manual override for this until, I think when you put the cards on LN2, they kind of just lock in max P state. But, like, if you watch the clock speed of these cards in, like, GPU-Z or something, it's just all over the place. So, it's just, like, trying to, like, I've given up on trying to override the power manager. It's just, like, keep it happy. Got to do that. And I'm gonna do one thing. I'm gonna run combined alone to make sure that it runs okay, and then we're gonna run. I'm running on the 7... Wait, is that driver question for me or for somebody in the chat? I'm on 17.10 anyway. 17.10.1. Man, system info! Could you move? Thank you. It's running like garbage again. I wonder if I need to, like, run the test twice and then it starts running properly or something? Like, let's see, right? Let's see. Most Ryzen CPUs will max out around 3.9 gigahertz. Don't bet on 4. Like 4 and anything above 4 would be a golden chip, pretty much. So, yeah. Funny, we're an hour in and we're just running Fire Strike, and I'm like, oh yeah, we'll also run Time Spy and all these other benchmarks. Oh, now it's running properly. Yeah, so basically I just need to load up that test once, and I wonder if I need to do that for every test. Anyway, let's run this and hope for the best. I haven't bothered to install the new Time Spy Extreme, and honestly, I don't care to run it either. I'm literally just farming hardware points. Well, it's not farming hardware points. I'm just doing benchmarks. It's like, I want to bench 3D, and I want to get points. And 3D Mark Time Spy Extreme is not points. So, yeah. This looks like it's running a bit slow again. Not a ton, but a bit. Like, that's the thing. It's like, that's a problem I've noticed with yeah, this is running a bit slow. But one thing I've noticed about, like, which annoys me about the live streams is, like, normally if I'm benchmarking, I, like, sit there and stare at the bloody FPS counter. With, like, really intensely, and just keep track of, like, oh yeah, I should be seeing at this part roughly this much FPS, roughly that much FPS. And then when I'm doing live streams, it's like I need to keep track of the chat and stuff, and it's just like I can't keep track of the FPS. And so when there's something obviously going wrong, I'm like, it looks like it's going wrong, but I'm not 100% sure, because I don't know what to reference, so yeah. That's why it's like I always get better scores benching like off stream. It's also really boring. Well, it's not really boring. It's different. Please don't crash. Please don't crash. I believe in you, 6950X. The water's starting to warm up. You know what's gonna suck? This is gonna give me, like, the graphics score is gonna be, like, terrible, and I'm gonna have to run it again. I guarantee it. Wait, corrupt Fire Strike and restore it to working order. What? Like, do you mean like when 3D Mark's UI forgets that you've installed it and then you need to uninstall it and reinstall it to get it to work again? Because that's like, I know that's a big problem with 3D Mark. See, now that puts a smile on my face. Progress. Oh, hell yeah, we're getting like... Yeah, I like seeing those numbers. Not quite as high as I was hoping for, but progress nonetheless. I just wish I had cold. If we had these on dry ice, then this would just be absolutely amazing. Because here's the thing, Vega right now is like, I'm 99% sure both of these cards on dry ice would do, say, 1850 megahertz. Maybe more. And yeah, that'd be just awesome. That would be really awesome. Also, the HBM would actually go a bit faster. Not a huge amount, but a bit faster. And I'd have the CPU running like 4.8, 4.7 instead of, well, actually it might even do 5. Maybe. Because I know this chip, like, this chip cold bugs at like minus 90. So, well, minus 90-ish. It's sort of around there. So I know you can run like, this thing runs like 5 gigahertz at minus 90, and it would run like it might even run 4.9 at minus 70-ish. But yeah, it really, like, dry ice is... The problem with dry ice is, like, the thickness of the LN2 pots actually raises your minimum temperature on high heat loads. So, yeah, it probably, like, while the dry ice solution itself would be below 70, the bottom of the pot would probably be at, like, minus 60 or something. Especially on something this hot. Because these things, like, the 6950X kicks out so much heat on LN2. Anyway, where's this land me? Okay, I need to get over 700. I need to get, like, 800, 33,800 if I want any more improvement out of this. Oh, wait, there's two memory... No. No memory tab there. You know what? I want to bump up the CPU some more. Not gonna hammer the GPUs because I don't like the driver resetting good settings. So we're gonna try bump up the ring a little bit more, and I'll try maybe get the memory more aggressive timings, but we'll see. If I had B-die, that would easily pick up like another 500 points of physics. Well, I know this memory kit can actually do CL9, but it needs, like, it's really dodgy. It's really, really dodgy when I try to do that, so we'll just try raise that. Those are as low as they go. Not sure, don't know what to do with that one. Could maybe bump that down to 20. I'd like to believe that could do a 3. Okay, let's start with that, and if that works, then... Also, maybe TWR10 would work. Yes! It posted. This is gonna do like this is gonna be like 100 points or something for physics. So actually, I'm just gonna OC profile. There. We're just gonna save this profile so that if I crash it, it's not a massive pain to recover the settings, and I just almost knocked the mic off the desk. Wait, let's do something about this wire. Could have that run that way. Okay, yeah, that's kind of more viable in my opinion. Bump this up a bit. Just a bit. Wait, I didn't want 1.3, I wanted like 1.28. I'm gonna cook this, like this chip is gonna die one day. This thing is so, like, I've beaten this thing like halfway to death already, I'm sure of it. Oh, and I still didn't manage to break the damn things. Okay, this might work. This might work. I'm also gonna like, right now the biggest risk is that the thing will crash before we run the benchmark, so. Because, like, those memory settings are so borderline. Okay, Fire Strike, custom run. You gotta run combined. One thing I want to check. Okay, we still have... So, an interesting thing that X99 will sometimes do is it'll actually not initialize all of your memory sticks fully, and you'll get into the Windows and you're missing most of your RAM. It'll just not be there. Like, you'll boot and you'll have 12 gigs of RAM available instead of 16. So that's why I just had Task Manager quickly opened up to check. Just making sure that combined runs properly right now. Yeah, okay, so that first run of combined is always going to run at, like, terrible FPS for some reason. Cool. I wonder if it's, like, 3D Mark loading stuff in. I want to also do a check on GT1. Just, like, get everything preloaded and then... then run the actual benchmark. It might be a Windows thing. Also, we're gonna kill Explorer. Just to make absolutely sure that the 3D Mark has all the available GPU power it can get. The funny thing is me actually going more and more aggressive on the CPU settings is bumping up the GPU score, because this thing is like, I'm guaranteed there's a small CPU bottleneck going on at this point. Like, I can pretty much guarantee that. Because I vaguely remember these two cards doing 55,000 points on Z270 for the graphics test. Yeah, okay. At this point, I think I'll just run. I'll try just run the whole benchmark and hope for the best. Wait, is somebody asking about the Did somebody ask about the R9 290X somewhere? Why don't you... I don't have 4 memory sticks. Like, the team group memories, they only sent me 2 sticks. So I'm going to tell them to send me more sticks if they want me to use them on X99. So, yeah. Does seem to be running a bit faster. We'll see. Anyway. Wait, okay, so with the 290X, so the problem with the 290X is it boots, and it'll get into Windows. Yeah, that is running faster. It'll get into, well, actually, it won't, it'll get into Windows. GPU-Z will pick it up, but the moment you install AMD's drivers, the AMD driver will crash, pretty much. The GPU driver crashes the moment you try to do anything. So, you know, if I could ask AMD to, like, make a custom driver for my 290X to not do whatever it is that it's causing it to crash, then yeah, it would run. And I'm like 99% sure, like from what I from what I heard from a certain contact of mine, the reason why it's crashing is the I2C interface. Not the I2C, but the AMD has like this SMC bus thing. It's proprietary, it's designed to run super fast, and they use it for the voltage controllers on GPUs. And I think maybe even CPUs use SVI. Actually, no, it's SVI on both, isn't it? No, SMC, lost track of it. But anyway, there's something that's similar to I2C. It's not I2C, it's faster, and it's AMD proprietary. Basically, the driver gets really, really triggered if it can't pick up any if it tries to talk to a device over SVI and it's not there. So the driver's like, yeah, there's totally a voltage controller at the end of this, and it goes like, okay, let's talk to that voltage controller, and well, there isn't a voltage controller there because I've not, enabled it. And the driver basically goes like, oh no, where's the voltage controller, and blows up and throws a blue screen. So yeah. What I'll do is I'll try pull off the Hall of Fame power, pull it off, try revive the 3567. Like, I didn't kill the 3567B. I broke the, well, it's not like I ripped it off or intentionally broke it. It's just a chunk of that controller is broken. So I'm gonna try like enable it so that it's at least present on the SVI bus, and the driver hopefully goes like, okay, yeah, it's there. It's not working properly, but it's there. And I'm fine with that. But the other variant is that if that still doesn't work, then what Elmore actually suggested was... that's really low. What Elmore suggested was to actually get like an FPGA and like reverse engineer the what the SVI bus would normally look like on a working card, and then faking it for my card, which is just like, yeah, I'm totally capable of doing that. Thanks. So that's fun. And this score sucks for some reason. Why do you suck? Like, this is low. That's really low. That's lower. Let's try that again. Let's just rerun. And this time I will kill Explorer. That's actually 3D Marks UI. Let's see if that helps. Yeah, I used NVIDIA's GPUs on here once, and I don't... DDU didn't take care of that. Oh, well. Why is this running? Oh, whatever. That shouldn't actually be an issue. Let's try this again. Getting kind of dark in here, isn't it? Wait. No! I'm in blue screen. Bloody hell. Oh, I know. Yeah, that's fine. It's like when 3D Mark starts, it puts so much load on the CPU for no reason. I don't know why. It's like when you press the run button, until you're in that actual loading screen, it puts a lot of load on the CPU. So that's fun. This is really great of you, 3D Mark. What I'm gonna do about that is I'm actually gonna downclock the CPU for a bit. Because this board has slow mode and like switches and everything, so I'll just... Actually, I wonder if slow mode works right now. Let's see. Because I know I was using slow mode when I had the board on liquid nitrogen, but I'm not sure what the condition of that is now that it's like on ambient. Let's see, CPU Z, and also the driver reset, because of course it frickin' did. There's that switch. Slow mode works, cool. So we'll just have it slow moded until we need the CPU at full speed. What? Having a whole bunch of clickable crap in your UI is not fun. Especially when it opens up Internet Explorer. You know what? We should do like a bone stock run event, like at the end. You know what? Oh right, I hit numlock. 720. Bye bye ears. It was nice knowing you. I love how this slider is just like so ridiculously tall. Like, this is never gonna run. Well, like with liquid nitrogen and a ton of voltage maybe, but not normally. That's not gonna run. Okay, that's set up. I do believe that's all correct now. It peaked at sort of 1200 earlier. It was like 1190. Right, we need to run... Okay. Well, we can do that in slow mode. Yeah, system info puts a surprising amount of load on the CPU. Stupid pile of garbage. Slow mode is also making this take forever. It's called slow for a reason. Oh, bloody hell. Move! You're on a bloody SSD! Why is it taking so long? Did it crash? Oh, come on. Please don't crash now. That would be completely freaking stupid. Oh well. Pile of garbage. Also, this won't post with slow mode on, so that's fine. And now the driver is gonna wipe itself. It's just never stops. Never gets better. .3D Mark. 3D Mark is like stupid freaking system info. The cool thing is, like, system info is the only reason why I'm allowed to run 3D Mark on X99. So it's like there's a reason for why that stupid pile of garbage needs to exist. But it's still an annoying pile of garbage that kills the freaking card all the time. Like, kills the system. Actually, I didn't need to touch that, but whatever. I'm gonna need to shove 1.5 volts through the stupid CPU. Oh man, running a 6950X on 1.5 volts. Yeah. Not many people do that. Anyway, let's quickly run that. Yeah, so there's like a usage spike in system info because the CPU just hit 92 degrees. Which is just like, is that really necessary, 3D Mark? Really? You gotta do that? Actually, more voltage won't fix that. Damn. Oh, now it's running fine, but whatever. Anything that could make the score lower has to go. Okay, I'm just gonna... I hate how slow mode doesn't really mean anything, but we're gonna try slow mode through the... I'm gonna be watching the CPU temperature to catch the system info jump and then go right back to full speed afterwards. Actually, couldn't I take away system in... I could have done that. I could just... I guess I could use Windows to limit system info to only, like, 4 cores. I think, maybe. We'll see. 3D Mark, like, I don't know if system info might not actually complain about that. Like, me messing with its, like, OS priority stuff, but... Because it keeps crashing the bloody system. Okay, so here when it hits, as it hits that bridge, it should be doing... Yeah, it does 1200 watts. Wait, I'm like way lost in the chat discussion. I give up. I want high scores. In which category? I'm putting them under dual GPU 3D Mark Firestrike on HWBot. I'll link it. Because I do have it open. Yeah, so basically I'm going to end up somewhere in this table that I just posted. Here comes physics! Destroyer of CPUs! For 3D Mark 11 and Vantage? Like, no, Vantage is the worst. Like, Vantage physics test is so heavy. I don't get it. It's, like, so damn heavy. And the worst thing about the Vantage test, like, what really annoys me about it, is there's a warm-up phase. Like, it literally tells you, warming up! Before it starts, like, counting your score, it's just like, you're intentionally trying to crash my system, aren't you? Which is why I don't like Vantage. The other issue is, Vantage has the physics test at the end of like 4 minutes of GPU benchmarking. It's so damn long. This is running good. Like, real good. The thing is, Vantage's is from like 2010? Or 11? Like, it's old. 3D Mark Vantage is old, it's DirectX 10. You know, so actually no, it's like way older than 2010. It's ancient. Just can't break it. Just can't break it. Damn it. Actually, this did bump me up a bit. Okay, this is over 17 points global, so we're saving this, and then we're doing a rerun just to make sure, because 3D Mark will sometimes give you higher scores if you just run it over. And I forgot where to do run new task. Where's GPU-Z at? I'm really annoyed that the physics score hasn't gone up. Like, I went to all that effort with the memory and nothing. Like, hopefully if I rerun it'll go up a bit, but don't have super high hopes at this point. Okay. Not gonna touch the GPU settings. Just gonna kill Explorer. Alright, which part of this is the UI? I could figure out which one of these was away. Ah, whatever. Alright. Oh, wait, I do want to try that system info thing. Set affinity. Yeah, you're not doing that to my CPU. It can't handle that. Let's try that. Hopefully now it won't spike to 90 before the run. Well, that didn't help at all, unfortunately. It still went all the way up to 92. But it didn't manage to crash, so... Java W is the 3D Mark UI. If I kill that, it's gonna kill through, like, it's not gonna give me a score. Also, the NV telemetry, if I like, it comes back on its own. If I tell the task to stop running, it'll come back. I've tried that. That's why I'm not bothering with it. It's like I'd need to actually remove that completely from the system. not just try disable it through Task Manager. Just a 480mm radiator with 3 120mm fans for the CPU. Yeah, so with Vega, what I'm doing, like what I noticed is until I disabled ULPS, the performance basically didn't change. Like it went up like a tiny amount. It was really small amount that the performance increased. How is it getting to 90 odd degrees? Well, let's see. It's a 10 core, and I'm shoving like almost a 1.5 volts into it. That might be why. No, yeah, it just runs all. Like, I'm putting so much voltage through the chip, I'm not surprised. I don't think the graphics score is going to be very good this run. Honestly, it looks like the whole run is bad. Okay, 1.5 volts on a 7980XE is not viable even on liquid nitrogen. So, you know. Yeah. Oh, come on, the combined is terrible. What the hell? Why is it so bad now? Okay, this run's just terrible. Like, this is a really bad run. Yeah, this is just atrocious. GPU score is up a bit, but, like, this is just, that's awful, and that's just like, eh. Okay, that's not working. Damn it. Wait, no. Oh, damn it, it crashed again. Stupid freaking system info. Oh wait, I won't be able to run 3D Mark 11, will I? Oh wait, no, I need to save validation files. Damn it, forgot about that. That's annoying. That's really annoying. Needs to be something I can still do in the BIOS to make this suck less. Honestly, this doesn't seem to be doing anything, so I'm just gonna drop that. Try reduce the thermals of the CPU a bit. Well, let's hope that's worth it. couple tenths of a megahertz increase in BCLK. Oh, we can't get into even Windows now. Okay, so the extra BCLK is extra too far. It peaked at around 1200 watts. For now. Well, actually, for the session. Like, it's not going to go past 1200. I'm not making this go, like, I'm not making this pull more power anytime soon. The GPUs are pretty much maxed out, the CPU's maxed out, which is really annoying because the CPU frickin' sucks. I need freaking Skylake X. That'd be so nice. Like a 14 core or a 16 core. I really like, there's something about the 14 core that I just really like. Okay, well, I was like, use CPU thermals, to hell with that. We're burning the house down. There. I don't think that, like, this is very high probability of just not running. Just put the CPU on LN2. Here's the thing, I don't currently have any LN2. I wouldn't be doing this if we had liquid nitrogen on hand. Yeah, it is Buildzoid. It's still Buildzoid, but it's Buildzoid with suffering. Find a 600 watt Peltier. Haha, that's not gonna work. We're gonna need, like, if I wanted to Peltier this chip, I need, like, probably 800 watts of Peltiers. And something tells me Windows is about to not boot. Yeah, that looks like it sort of hung somehow. Wait, I need an evil twin? I thought I'd need, like, a good twin. We have plenty of evil already. Not automatic repair windows. I want to bet this is also not going to get there anyway. Yeah, this isn't starting either. That's an interesting crash. Alright, what's happening at the bottom where? Oh, it was just the loading bubbles for Windows. This is bad. Okay, so I can't run 37 ring. I can't run more anything. There's literally nothing in this system that'll go faster at this point. Like, I can guarantee that won't work. Well, we can still try. There. What? No, the Vegas are fine. The stupid CPU needs to go faster. Like, this is... Like, I'm 99% sure if I move these cards onto that Kaby Lake rig, they'd be scoring like 1,000 points, at least 1,000 or 2,000 points higher in the graphics tests. The RAM really doesn't like that, does it? Oh well. Basically, the freaking 6950X can't, like, it's too slow. I need 10 cores at like 5 gigahertz, not 4. Not 4.5. Okay, so that's a 61. It's no good. PSU's fine, graphics cards are fine, the chip is too damn slow. Also, maybe like better RAM could also be nice. Oh no, it's not dead. I just put in memory settings that don't work. Yeah, well, standing your water by the exhaust of one of the GPUs is not fun. Gets warm. Yeah, it keeps throwing 61s. Damn it. We already have a fan. See? Fan. It's RGB and everything. Hello, idiot mode! Goodbye, idiot mode! Honestly, I didn't know what, like, I wasn't expecting that to work at all, because the 2933 multiplier on X99 is broken. Like, it literally never works, so... that wasn't particularly surprising. Well, everything is pretty much set up. I'm gonna bump up the RAM voltage a little bit. Yeah, well, that's... Announcement, what? Ah, bloody hair. Yeah, we'll get your hair back there. Works? Kind of getting hungry. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. It missed training. Wait, let's see. Not gonna hold, but this is probably as tall as I can get it. Yeah. Well, those settings that we were running before, because they were saved on the profile, not working anymore. It needs to retrain. It's just never gonna, like... Man, I wish I had an Apex for X99. Well, I just wish X99 wasn't such a pain. It's literally as bad as Ryzen. Except way more power hungry. Wait, needs to do a shirt for what? The hair? Why would anybody want to wear that? Okay, so we're gonna load up this. Yes. What we're gonna do, because it's evidently not gonna train otherwise, we're gonna start at 100. I'm gonna drop it to that, because that ratio works. I'm gonna boot on that, and then we're gonna set it to 2800, and hopefully it'll run, and then apply the BCLK. What, you just killed your potential future Ryzen sponsor. Honestly, I think, like, the fact that I get any free hardware at all is a miracle, considering how, like, unguarded I am in calling things garbage. It's like, yeah, you know, I love the Maximus 9 Apex. But nonetheless, when it annoys me, I call it garbage. Because at that moment in time, it's garbage. And quite frankly, I think a lot of companies would probably get pretty oversensitive about that. It's like, no, you can't call our product garbage, but I only call it a garbage a little bit. No, you can't do that. But... No, you can't call our motherboard garbage. Why not? It annoys the crap out of me. No, you just can't. It's not like it's a sponsorship. You're supposed to show how great our motherboard is, but it isn't. Bye-bye sponsorship. Yeah, pretty much. Like, by this, it's only a little bit garbage. Pretty much my outlook on most hardware. It's like, I don't have a favorite brand. I just have a brand I hate the least. And only on, like, a certain platform and one product. This thing's not quite as bad as everything else you've ever put out. This MSI board, like, I've had a ton of other MSI motherboards that I've, well, not ton, but it's like a lot of other MSI motherboards I'd never recommend in a million years. But this one, apart from the issue where it doesn't work at minus 100, I really like it. You know, at minus 100 I don't like it, but everywhere else it's fine. Okay, there we go. We're at reasonable DPI levels again. So hopefully all the settings applied. Hopefully all the RAM is present. Indeed, the RAM is present. All the settings have applied, and I need to go fix the freaking GPU settings. I mean, you know, the funny thing is, for all my complaints about it wiping my GPU settings, AMD had in the past, like a really early version of Wattman had an issue where if you tried to boot the AMD driver, when it boots up the card, it will put the card in full 3D clocks. And if you had a really unstable overclock, like let's say you set an RX 480 to like 1700 megahertz through Wattman, you couldn't boot because the first thing the stupid, like, you start the system, Windows loads up, the driver starts up, card goes to 1700, system crashes instantly. You know, so there's a really good reason for why they do the whole wipe on startup thing, but it's like, you could have given us a save button. Every other overclocking utility on Earth knows that you should have the option to save OC profiles, but apparently, you know, nobody at AMD ever used Afterburner or Trix or any of the OC utilities I've ever seen, so I don't know. It's the little things, you know? It would make the pile of garbage that you made just a little less garbage. And honestly, I actually like the current state of Wattman. It's not that bad. Like, I'm using it. That's how not bad it is. Okay. Because really, the manual control over the P states is just awesome. I love that. It's the best thing ever. Alright, this one's stuck at 1200. Alright, okay, that's already set up. Bye-bye, ears. It was nice having you for a bit. It's not that bad. Did I apply everything correctly? Yep, okay. Let's rock some 3D Mark. I gotta do something about system info being so ludicrously, like, high heat output. Alrighty, did that one. Because if I slow mode it, it's gonna fail. Oh well, whatever. Let's just... Gotta get combined working first, and then we can run. Ah, damn it, I'm scrolling in the wrong chat window. Sorry about that, guys! The other power stage is being grayed out in Wattman. That's normal with Vega. I've not worked with Ivy Bridge at all. I've never actually. It's funny. I've never had a Sandy Bridge, and I never had an Ivy Bridge. I have an. I have a Sandy. I had a Sandy Bridge E, and I plan to get an Ivy Bridge E as well. I really want to get like a 4930K. Well, this is running really good right now. Well, hopefully it won't crash. I'm gonna try wait for the... Loop's cold, so it's not going any colder than that. I mean, it's like stable temperature-wise right now. Let's run. And I have to save whatever score this spits out because I haven't been saving these properly. There's a problem with Windows 10. Basically, if you change your BCLK after booting up, it breaks Windows time manage, like the passage of time breaks that. And then all of your scores are invalid because, well, you know, time is moving slower than it should be. Or faster. Is it worth it to buy delidded CPUs from Der Bauer? I am not... So I know Der Bauer in person. I consider him a friend. So I'm not gonna say yes or no to that. Okay? I think that's fair. I've never messed around with LGA 1366 either. Well, it's not Der Bauer. Der Bauer himself doesn't sell the CPUs. He works at Case King, and Case King sells binned and delidded CPUs, very similar to Silicon Lottery, on their own site. So, yeah. That's a GPU crash. I don't get how, though. Okay, why? So you guys aren't seeing this, but basically what happens is I think it's the display drive circuit just blows, dies temporarily. So I'm gonna need to get Explorer back. Do the driver restart, which resets actually the cards as well. Oh, that's bad. Thread stuck in device driver. Do all of my soldering work for me? No. No, Restart 64 is way, Restart 64 actually resets the driver. CTRL Shift B, just, resets, what does it reset? Somebody else at, like, the start of the stream said what it resets. It's not a hard reset for the driver. It's, like, it wipes something. It purges some kind of memory stuff. I can't remember what. It's not as good. Know that for sure. Anyway, I've decided that I want more power limit. So I'm going to go quickly figure out what 200% is in binary, in hexadecimal. And then we're going to punch that in. 200 C8. Okay. 96 C8. Okay. Oh, one day I should go through the Windows registry and figure out what all of this, well, what the AMD, like, what a lot of these things do, because they look really fun. Like some of these things, like, which one? Well, ULPS, you know, that's just ultra low power state, but like clock gating? Like, I imagine disabling that just sends the power consumption to hell. I wonder if it couldn't slightly bump up scores, maybe? I don't know. You need to make the time to mess around with that stuff someday. I don't want to do it right now. I'm actually kind of interested in getting decent scores. Anyway. Oh, wait, I need to restart the driver again. Actually, I'll show you that, since that's not visible. This goes to 200 now. Whee! Also goes down to minus 200. I wonder what on earth happens when you do that. I think it should just crash immediately. Anyway, I'm not gonna try find out. I'm not interested. 1100... 1150, because this is the air-cooled card, and it sucks very badly. Set as minimum, 1680, 1710 instead of 1720, because it did crash last time. Max these guys out. Set min. Set min. Alright, hit numlock. Damn it. 17. I'm happy with that. Let's try run. Honestly, it looks like everything I've been doing to Windows doesn't really change the score that much, so I'll just run. Though that combined test thing is really... That's like a real showstopper, so... Garbage! Oh, before I had it going to 200%, I was running this on 150%. So, you know, just 50% more. So instead of being allowed to pull 550 watts, it's now allowed to pull 660. Not that it'll actually do it, because it's not coolable, but the clocks aren't high enough and the voltage not high enough for that much power consumption, but if it wanted to, it could do it. If it needed it, it could do it. Not that it needs it. Constant crashing is really annoying. It's like I don't get a readout for the freaking blue screen, so it's like I don't know if it was. I think it was the GPUs again, but it's just so annoying that it just doesn't run. Honestly, I shouldn't complain considering I'm forcing the cards to run at basically full 3D, like full 3D clocks at idle, but which is probably why I'm getting those blue screens so much, but yeah. Let's do card 2. This one's on the reference cooler, so be a bit more gentle with it. I'm not going to set the clocks as high this time around. $10, $50. Minimum, apply. This thing is just getting less and less stable. CPU was at 90 degrees for that. It's so annoying. Like, the CPU is such a, like, it's holding me back. It's holding me back so hard. I'm actually considering buying an X299 motherboard and then asking for, like, a 7940X. Or a some high-end, like, one of the high core count X299 CPUs from Alza, because I'm like 99% sure they'll happily hand one of those over. And yeah, and then just, you know, use that for benchmarking, because the 6950X, it's just like, it's strong, okay? It's a strong CPU. I won't pretend like it's some, it's a 10 core Intel. It's a monster, but it's just like, I want more. And right now it's just like, it's definitely, because if I had like, I'm just gonna pull the numbers off the, wait, gonna find like what a normal 7960X scores. Like, there's something about the 7980XE that I just don't like. I don't know what it is. It's just like silly 18 core CPU. Alright, Fire Strike. So, okay, wait, that's Kingpin's. Damn it. This is not gonna work. Okay, well, clock he had it at 5.5 gigahertz. Okay. And it put down, yeah, so if I was on a 16 core at 5.5 gigahertz, I'd be getting like 41,000 points in physics. You know, that would, like, significantly lift my overall score here. Holy. Damn, and the combined was like 17K. I want an 18 core. I need more cores. It's too bad Threadripper isn't good at 3D Mark. Like, Threadripper is just, like being the multi, what is it? The, like, not being a single chip, it really doesn't play well with 3D Mark, so that sucks. That really sucks. think and I heard from somebody that apparently setting the fan speed crashes GPUs, but I mean, that would be a very AMD driver kind of thing to happen, but well, actually, I've not had that many issues with AMD's drivers, to be completely honest. Like, for daily usage, at least. Not for, like, this. For this, yeah. I have issues with issues here, but, normal usage, the AMD driver for me has always been really well behaved. Apply. Marks. No! Why 3D Mark? Why? Why is your useless UI capable of forgetting that you're installed? Okay, well, we gotta reinstall 3D Mark now. Don't crash. Don't you dare crash. There's a screwdriver somewhere on this desk. I'm stabbing you if you crash. There, was that so hard? Now, could we please run Fire Strike? Like, run it. Be a good little system and give me my high score. There, okay, it just passed 90. What? No, see, the CPU doesn't sit at 90 degrees, it just hits 90 degrees when system info does its thing. It sits at like 47 right now, and completely idle is around 40. Funny thing is, the air coming through the radiator is like ice cold. So... oh, this is not looking promising. The FPS seems ever so slightly lower than what I'm hoping for. It looks like it's 2 or 3 FPS down from the highest I've seen, so... Yeah, the new camera position is completely temporary just for the ambient stuff, because, like, there's nothing... Like, I'm not moving all around the room, and it's not, you know, it's not super involved, so... I'm okay with having the camera facing me. But, when we have liquid nitrogen, it'll be... Well, actually, for this system, I might run it just because I don't like... Like, I'd have to clean the desk to get this on the desk. So, you know, this might actually be like, if I'm running this system, you'll get this camera angle. If I'm running the other system, you get a different camera angle. I hate how the hardest part of this benchmark is passing system info. Oh man, this physics score is gonna suck. I think. Yeah, this looks like it's gonna suck. Oh god. Oh god. It's gonna put down like 20 FPS on combined again. I'm gonna have to restart it. Not the system, the benchmark. Oh, this is actually running fine. I am very confused. This is running better than ever before. Maybe. Crashes right now because I said it's running great. No, but that physics score definitely looks low. Yeah. Yeah, look. That's 1,000 points low. This is fine. That's good. That's great. That's the best of all, like, I think all the runs we've done. But this is the lowest. This is really low now. Why is that really low? I guess maybe all of the stupid crap I was doing to Windows was actually helping. In a surprising turn of events. I really want to know... Wait. Because, like... Yeah, it should be scoring around 27,000. Oh, well, rerun. I know I said I'd save this, but no. We got all the time in the world. This is on water. It's not like with liquid nitrogen where it's like every minute running is liquid nitrogen wasted if if you don't have a score to post at the end of it. Would you consider a Vega 56 good enough for someone who isn't interested in a 1070 or a 1080? A Vega 56, with the right settings, is basically the same speed as a GTX 1080, just really power hungry, and really loud if you don't run water cooling or Morpheus 2 like I do. So, yeah, I think it's a pretty good alternative to a 1080. You know what? Now what's going to happen is the combine's going to be really bad. The GPU score is going to be lower. Like, you know, it'll reverse. I'll have my good physics and everything else will suck. Yeah, the GPU score looks like it's going to be lower than ever. This is fun. Yeah, AMD GPUs, actually, I think all GPUs really, well... I mean, I don't test NVIDIA cards much, Well, I've not, like, okay, I've had one max, I have a 960. That's a Maxwell card. Ooh, I almost had a 980 Ti. Almost. It's actually sitting over there. Found one of these lovely things in a CEX here, but it doesn't work, unfortunately, so I'll be returning it, which really sucks. Because this is a 980 Ti classified. So it was like, yes, I finally have a premium high-end graphics card. Nope, it doesn't work. So that sucks. But, yeah. What are the extra Vega 60, cores on a Vega 64 for? I mean, what, I don't know, compute, maybe? Like, yeah, actually it is for compute. In compute benchmarks, there's a difference between Vega 64 and Vega 56. "3D Mark!" Well, I think I know what was causing the physics problems. But anyway, yeah, the extra cores basically only help for compute workloads. For graphics, they do basically nothing. It's like 1 or 2% difference between... Like, actually, my Vega 56 clocks so much higher than my Vega 64 that it straight up outperforms it in every benchmark you can think of, except compute stuff, which I don't do. So, yeah. Well, have I checked the warranty? No, I haven't checked the warranty on this thing. I'll just bring it to CEX. It's like, they do, like, no questions asked returns in 14 days, so... It's literally just down the street for me. Well, not literally. Down the street and to the left, and this is a really long street. But, yeah, it's just a bus ride to get it returned. It's just, I had a cold for the last few days, so I wasn't going anywhere. Spent most of the last few days in bed, basically. Okay, 3D Mark, if you would kindly run this time, that'd be great. Don't crash on me, and I won't punch you in the face. You know, it's like, and if you're wondering how I'll punch you in the face considering you're a piece of software, well, you don't want to know how far I'll go to get my revenge. Low. Set this stupid thing to low. Oh, right, I didn't open up AMD settings stuff, so that's cool. Low. I know it's like everybody probably wants me to press run on TimeSpy, but it's just... I need to turn tessellation back on again. Okay, I'm just gonna hope that the combined score doesn't suck. Oh, no, it crashed again! You know what, like, cabled mice, it's like, sometimes I just get this massive temptation to just, like, swing them into a hard object. Like now! Thank you, 3D Mark. You're gonna send me to an insane asylum at this rate. The thing about the, like, blurring all the textures halfway to, like, literally to hell, that's called that's level of detail, and it's a tweak. It's basically what everybody on HWBot does for NVIDIA GPUs. You basically set the level of detail really high, and basically the level of detail is a way of basically the GPU, like, the graphics system, graphics pipeline, something. Not sure on the terminology. Basically, it's meant for if there's textures on, like, a tree that's, like, miles and miles away from you. There's no point in keeping those textures in full resolution. So, level of detail is used to lower the texture resolution at that distance. Now, if you set your resolution level of detail setting really, really high by modifying the driver settings, what ends up happening is it basically uses that super low res texture, even for objects that are like right in your face. So you basically get blurred textures everywhere. And since the textures are lower resolution, the GPU has less work to do. And you get higher scores. So that's how that works. Okay, let's get the other GPU up to speed. You know, it's nice when the settings reset because my ears get a bit of peace from the 4,000 RPM blower, but, oh well. This might help. Might. Because, like, this card has a cooling problem. So... well, anyway. Let's try that. Because it'll let it go lower voltage, but it might crash now. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Don't you dare crash. Third-party OC software for Vega. Afterburner works. Trix doesn't. I tried the latest version. It didn't seem to work. I don't know if I was doing something wrong, but it wasn't doing anything helpful. But the thing is, Afterburner doesn't have the, like, set minimum max clocks. There is Overdrive N-Tool, which I know about, but it's just like, Wattman does everything I need, and it's honestly not that much of a pain to use anymore. So, I'll just use that. Well, this graphics score is gonna suck. Yeah, like, those FPS numbers were way down. Well, I've had, like... Can you set min-max clocks on NVIDIA cards? I'm not the person to ask because I don't do NVIDIA cards. But you can flatline, like, the GPU. Like, honestly, it's just... I sold the GTX 1070, so any further research I wanted to do into Pascal just went with that card when I sold it, because I just... like, I tried to do some testing on the, like, GPU boost, and I was just like, this is dumb. Because it wasn't it was doing weird stuff, right? Like, with AMD's cards right now, it's like, the clocks are all over the place. But as long as I get roughly what I expect to see, I'm happy. with that NVIDIA card, it was just like, it was doing weird stuff. And I was just like, okay, well, I'm not interested anymore. Yeah, the Vega 64 is on the reference cooler. Well, okay, so for some reason, the combined test decided that it'd be really funny if it didn't freaking run. Let's see, is it actually a problem with the combined test, or is it some other issue? Okay, so the combined test still runs. The FPS is way down. But it runs. So what the hell is going on? It's like every restart, the system has a different problem. Oh. Look! 3D Mark exploded! Useless garbage work. I'm gonna run it like let's try 3D Mark 11. You know, let's change pace for a bit. Let's run something that's gonna totally crash the CPU the moment it hits. Let's go for it. Well, I'm surprised we actually started that benchmark, because that CPU, that temperature reading was 95C right there. Okay, we may have a problem. I don't know how much FPS a single Vega is supposed to get in this benchmark. And I think Crossfire is broken. Oh, damn. Capture card dropped out. Okay, I can't do anything about that, guys, because if I unplug this, 3D Mark's gonna explode. Okay, so there seems to be an FPS cap at 400 FPS for 3D Mark. Oh, no. Okay, I broke. 450? Okay, so GT2 Crossfire seemed to work. GT3, oh, there we go. GT3 loading screen works. Funny. 400, okay, yeah. So Crossfire doesn't work in test 1. Or I'm misremembering the FPS numbers. I don't know how high FPS at test 1 is supposed to be. Oh my god, it's doing almost 500 FPS. This is like running Unity in heaven. Holy... It's so big! Oh my god. It's like, this is... Yeah, I can get behind having 500 FPS in this benchmark. How much do 4-way to... Wait. Has Kingpin run 3D Mark 11 on 1080 Ti's? Has to have. Oh no, somebody else did. Actually, no, he didn't. Oh, man. Oh. Okay, so 3D Mark 11 is actually exactly in the same situation as Unigine Heaven, where it's a CPU benchmark, not a GPU benchmark anymore. And here comes the test that's gonna crash everything. Called it! Yeah, 3D Mark 11 is a CPU test from basically 2 GPUs up. Damn. That's... Okay, we're gonna need to underclock the CPU by like 100 megahertz to get this to actually finish that benchmark. But yeah, we're doing that. That's cool. Are the 290X VaporX VRMs worth cutting off and keeping? Yes, except I like the VaporX card as a sort of... Like... I don't know, it's just, there's something about the HD 7970 VaporX that I like. Like, there's other VRMs that are stronger and better candidates anyway, but, like, it's a nice 8-phase V-core. So, they're, like, yeah, you could totally cut it off and it would probably be, like, it would be worth it, but... the only way I'm doing it is if I kill the card, and I don't really plan to hammer that card very hard, so, yeah. Twitch really should do something about, like, sending you notifications about every new follower you get, because, like, my inbox is... Oh, that's bad. I mean, blue screen. There's settings for that stuff? Man, I need to, like, actually care about, like, running a lot of my stuff. The question remains, did I destroy Windows? No, I didn't. Good. Good, good, good. Unfortunately, the AMD driver decided to reset, which sucks. Like, the problem I have is, like, they put all these sliders here, but they're really not helpful. It's just, like, they're so awkward to move around. Here, it's just, yeah. They're overly sensitive. Like, they need to make the sliders more granular. There. Because, no, I wanted 1100. No, that's... Yeah, we're going back to just typing. Set that power limit to 200%. Apply max fan speed. Set that as minimum, set that as minimum, apply. Where is this? Custom, apply, set as minimum, 1100. 1200, 1780, and 1700, 1200, 1250, and max power limit. There we go. Yeah, okay. Wattman resets, the resets happen every time you force shut down the system. Which, like, makes sense, right? But the problem is they really need to put the option to, like, save a profile and load it up quickly. Like, I don't have a problem with the benchmark just, like, I don't have a problem with them, you know, chucking out the settings. That's fine, because you should actually do that for when the GPU starts up. But, the whole... Okay, that was a GPU crash. That's my fault. Oh, no. No, that's just Windows being stupid. Okay. No, but, like, the resetting on boot, like, when you crash, I get that. It's just they need to put in a profile saving option. That's literally the only thing I miss. Also, I would like a compact mode. Like, just give me a little checkbox that removes all of the silly sliders, because they're completely useless. I don't know what a Radeon X300 is. Like, literally no idea. Wait a minute, if this is basically a CPU... Oh, I'm screwed. I'm, like, definitely screwed on this. This might be a problem. I have the sneaking suspicion that the 6950X is not keeping up with the GPUs. Which would not be surprising in the slightest. Wait, did this physics benchmark just crash again, or...? Oh, man. 3D Mark Physics! Why you gotta do this to me? Ah. Here's the thing about me not knowing what a Radeon X300 is. That is really old. And I'm 20. Like... when did that even come out? Yeah, that's like from 2004. How the hell do you expect me to know a GPU from a time when I was 7? Oh, come on. I didn't make it into Windows. I need to go into the BIOS and drop the core voltage and drop the BCLK overclock. I've run 3D Mark 11 on the system before, and it needs to run at around 4.3. We're currently doing 4.35. I was hoping the, you know, almost 1.5 volts would work, but, Okay, garbage. Give score blocks. Okay, still posting. You know what? Let's just run it stock. You know, for a change. No overclocking on the GPUs. Because I'm sure it'll still spit out so many frames per second that the 6950X will be crying for mercy about it. And my ears won't have to suffer. Oh, wait a minute. I'm pretty sure the Vega 56 can't sustain, what is it, 1752 megahertz on 1.2 volts. Then again, it is in crossfire and severely CPU bottlenecked, so it might be fine. Funny thing about CPU bottlenecks, they let you run higher GPU core clocks because the GPU like is literally waiting for frames, so it ends up running a bit cooler, lower power consumption, you know, doesn't crash on you, which is neat. Actually, I wonder how much power it's pulling right now. Well, it's only doing 800 watts, guys. It's like nothing. There we go. Physics is running. Now the combined test. I think I might actually need to do a GPU overclock a little bit. I'm sad that AMD is discontinuing, like, they're not gonna support Crossfire as much. Because it's like, Unigine Heaven doesn't work with Crossfire at all. And, you know, it's like, I was really hoping that, like, two-way Vega could get some ridiculous Unigine Heaven scores, but no. Oh my god. 61,000 graphics! Oh, hell yeah! Okay, wait, I want to check something. The record... Okay, no, we can definitely go higher, except I am horrifically, like, the CPU is such a problem. I have almost 3 times the GPU score. Oh, man. Yeah, but this can go up. We can still overclock the GPUs a bit. Though I think, like, the CPU is a problem at this point. I wonder if I can get HBCC to work somehow, because it's... Like, it's not here in the settings. I wonder if it might not be, because a lot of the other stuff is in here. Alright, is there a search function? There should be a search. Okay. I guess it didn't find it. Oh, whatever. Oh, whatever. Yeah. You can still crank the clocks up first, so we'll do that. Actually, I'm feeling like super lazy, so I'll just do that. And set that to 1100. Well... Oh, right, it wasn't even at 1632. Well, that explains a lot, doesn't it? Oh, well, I guess we're overclocking then. I really hope this puts down a good score. Because it really should. Custom... Max that power limit. Max that fan speed. Oh man, I forgot how it sounded already. It sounds like this. There. I don't know if that actually picked up. I wasn't watching the volume levels. Seems to be running a tad faster. I think the CPU is just completely flooded. AMD recommends using DDU to reinstall drivers to fix HBCC not showing in drivers. I guess I'll have to try that. Yeah, I think IBM, if there's any CPU that could do 10 gigahertz, it has to be something from IBM. Because IBM has, like, these ridiculous high clock designs. Whereas, like, AMD and Intel, like, you know, AMD's ridiculous high clock design is Bulldozer, and Intel's was NetBurst. And NetBurst did what, like 8? Bulldozer does like 8.5. So, on liquid nitrogen. So, yeah. Oh, right. The 3D Mark 11. Because I can see clearly what's happening. It didn't crash. So... Did that crash, or...? No. Oh, come on! We're running again. This is the only problem with the 3D like the 3D benchmarks. It's like they're you know, they're pretty, they're fun to watch. They're too damn long. And then there's always that stupid CPU test at the end that inevitably crashes the whole thing. Don't do it. Don't you dare crash. Thank you. Now just do combined and, you know, Scorpus. I've seen people run Aquamark on Windows 8. Not like 7, I think of all the old 3D stuff, I think Aquamark is one of the few to not need XP. And then there's a lot of other stuff which just you need Windows XP, so yeah. That finished, right? Oh my god. Oh man, the GPU score barely changed. Like, we've gone from like 61k to 64k. This is such a CPU bottleneck, it's not even funny. Like, this is so heavily bottlenecked. 460 FPS average on GT3. Oh my god, this is like running Unity in heaven. The thing is, it wouldn't actually be worth it to run this on Z270. Because your physics score wouldn't be high enough to, like, keep up, like, yeah, your graphics score would go through the bloody roof. But your physics score would still be so, like, would be so low that your average would get pulled down. But, still, this is awesome. Wait, where does this put me on the rankings? I need a faster CPU, though. It's just like... This actually is a terrible... Yeah, the score is actually pretty terrible. It's only... I'm like number 52? Yeah, I'm number 52 for 3D Mark 11 on HWBot, so... Yeah, this is awful. I just need a more powerful CPU. This is not gonna work otherwise. Oh, man. I can't believe I'm actually saying that I want X299, but... What can I do? 3D Mark says 3D Mark is pay to win. You need a freaking you need a high core count, because 10 core doesn't cut it. Anyway, I forgot where GPU Z is. No. No. Curse you, 3D Mark. Curse you... Well, actually, no. That's the problem. I've had it. I've honestly had it. I've had it up to here with the system. What up to here? Here! Done. It's the end. No more. No bloody more. Stupid 6950X. It's like, you just can't win. Can't freaking win. It's like, finally! Well, no, actually, I have, like, there was a few decent scores throughout. There was, like, it wasn't like everything was completely trash. But, wait, what am I doing? There. But, you know, just... Why do you have to crash when I'm about to take the bloody screenshot? Like, 3D Mark broke once, which, like, that's normal. 3D Mark breaks all the time. Like, reinstalling 3D Mark is almost as common as reinstalling Windows. No, it's actually more, obviously. But, yeah. Damn it. Seriously, damn it. Because, well, I guess end of stream. I'm gonna, like, go, food, because there's none left in the house, if my memory serves me correctly, so I'll probably go get a pizza. And then I'm gonna go and, like, run all the benchmarks again, in peace, and without worrying about watching the stream chat, and, like, get halfway decent scores, and, well, halfway decent scores. Hopefully I'll manage to beat the scores off the stream, because if I don't manage to beat the scores off the stream, then this 6950X is going on sale. So, yeah. But that is it for the live stream. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, which will probably be in, like, ages, because I keep forgetting to have the live streams go public on time. And for those of you who were here, I hope you don't forget to click the follow button on Twitch. If you would like to support what I do here with actually hardcore overclocking, I have a PayPal, a Patreon, and there's also shirts. You can find all of those down in a link in the description on YouTube, or I think the link here should be fixed at this point, maybe? Nope, it isn't. Okay, well, I'll fix it, and then it'll work. So there's a link to support AHOC, which actually, wait. I don't know how to Twitch. Oh, wait, where's editing? Edit. There we go. Change. Yeah, okay, I can fix that. I'll just fix that right now, and then we'll cut the stream. There we go. And done. I think. It should be fixed now. So yeah, if you'd like to help out with what I do here, there's all those options. And also, if you have any hardware that you'd like to see abused horrifically, I'd send me an email at buildzoid@gmail.com, and we can discuss details of whether I even want whatever it is that you want to send. You know. So yeah, that is it for the stream. Thank you for watching. You've all been an awesome audience. I hope you found it entertaining and maybe educational, which I really doubt. But yeah, that's it, and goodbye. Now I need to find the stop button.